Okay, so this is the South Georgia Memorial truck named Lisa. It's named after Lisa Batten, who was an EMT in Glimer County and was one of the people who were not accounted for on the state of Georgia's memorial in Forsyth, Georgia. And since she's the first name that we came across while searching out some additional names for the truck, we decided to name it after her in her honor. This is some of how the layout will look. It may change a little bit when we go to its first show. We'll just see how it goes that first day and see how things line up. Sometimes it's a little hard to line things up with the tarp, but sometimes we have a problem with sap off the trees, so it's best to keep the tarp on as much as possible when storage is being worked on. We still have work to do on the diamond plate, which will have to be sanded down and painted. This was a additional magnet made with a iPad in honor of Lisa, which this may once again be relocated somewhere else in the truck because her name is actually going to be written on the truck. This explains about the memorial and how it all came to be, which I'll get in a little closer so you can probably see some of this. This is part of the honor board section, and this honors firefighters from Engine 6 in New York City who were killed during the Trade Center collapse. What you're seeing here is the pictures of the four men from that truck company that were killed, or engine company I should say, and this is the assignment board for that day with their names on it. And this is a memorial image that is made. This is a combination of 3 photographs. The flag is actually from the Derek North funeral. The firefighter is Firefighter David Gilbert, who's since retired. He's posed for the photograph so I could Photoshop it and turn it into more like a painting or a digital image, and then get the names added in 343, I should say the lettering, the 343. Numbers, I'm sorry. It's been a long day. This is the gentleman who inspired the truck, Chief Costine from Stamford, Vermont, who was killed while testing hoses. And this is the gentleman who inspired me, I should say one of them, and unfortunately he has passed away at a very young age. And this is a firefighter from my county back home who died after giving CPR to an individual who was having, I believe, a heart attack, and he had hepatitis, and he contracted it and died some years down the road after a long suffering battle. Which I kind of felt it was right to put that on there to kind of show that firefighters do more than just fight fire and die more from more than just fighting fire. There's a host of reasons why they pass away during their duty shifts, which is sad to say. This is something that Ford had put out at some point I found online, and these are patches that people have given me now and then, and this is Quitman Fire Department, Moody Air Force Base, Lowndes County, Pittsfield, Mass. From back home, and then Philadelphia, which I love their patch. And this is a EMS flag design that I came up with. Let's go around the other side of the truck for a minute. This is Colquitt County. This is where the fire truck came from. They really gave me a good deal on it, supporting the project. We've had some ups and downs in the past, and some people have done some wrong to us, and these guys kind of came to our rescue. Unfortunately, shortly after I picked up the truck, they lost 2 people from that county. Tony Parsons and Jacob Sutton, who died in non-duty related incidents, but I felt that because of their dedication to their community and their beliefs and the effort that they put towards wanting to help their community become a better place, that they should be honored on the truck. I also hope that it helps the families to kind of, heal a little bit. That's one of the things I'm hoping that this truck comes to the most is help. Okay, this is a honor board part to the truck which I extended this year. Unfortunately, we have some guys that have died at a very young age in non-duty related incidences, and some of them are duty related. This gentleman here had, I believe, cancer in the chest. This is a Walker County 911 operator was actually sadly murdered after her shift, I believe. So we felt we kind of pay a little respect to her. Denise M. Leslie died en route to a fire. This is in honor of the Worcester Six from back home, my home state of Massachusetts. This one here is one of the saddest stories, I think, on this truck. She was an EMT, firefighter, and assistant fire chief. She died after responding to a call. She was assisting a pregnant woman who basically just needed to be checked out after having a minor motor vehicle accident in a snowstorm. And while she was loading her into an ambulance, an 18-wheeler came around the corner and lost control and slammed into her, killing the pregnant woman instantly. And Krista died shortly afterwards at the hospital. This is two lads just a few days ago, sadly, down in Florida. They were overrun by fire, fighting a small fire when they were plowing a line. This is a graphic image that came out to us. I kind of like it. I don't know if this is going to be its location. Along with this board, I may move this board to the other side. It really depends on how the truck is positioned at a show. Where I want it to be, people be able to see it and be able to walk around and see it. But if not, depending on where we're at, we may move it to the pump side of the truck. This gentleman here says it all about firefighters do more than fight fire. He was killed, sadly, while helping residents escape a tornado. He was positioned at a pre-point as a spotter. He was a trained spotter, and a tornado came down, and he went to action, and he saved the lives of the 3 families in the area and surrounding areas as well, but unfortunately the tornado overran him and killed him. And this is a paramedic out of Florida who passed away when he had a heart attack on his shift. Okay, one of the things I want to highlight here is Jarrett Lee Little. His family did an excellent job in creating a memorial website, and they actually sent down the lettering to be used on the truck, and it's just, they did a fantastic job. And his mom went and wrote kind of like a mini bio of this firefighter, and it's just amazing what she wrote, and I was so overwhelmed with it that I really felt it needed to be on the truck so people could read her story. It was just an amazing job that she did on this to remember him. This is the main list right here of names. I mean, I like the layout, but it's designed so a person can step back and read the names, but the company that did it notified me it didn't come out so well as they'd hoped it did, so we're working to come up with something a little better. But for now, it kind of is on the truck just so we can lay things out. And of course we have Derek North here, who was from Stockton Fire Department, who was killed in the line of duty, and the truck rolled. He did not survive the crash. Firefighter rolled up on scene and began treating him as well as the additional firefighter that was on board. And sadly, that firefighter was Derek's wife. And it kind of goes to show that when you're a firefighter, it doesn't matter if it's family or friends or not. You don't have the option to shut down when there's an emergency. If it's a family member, you still have to do your job and somehow set that pain aside. And somehow that day she did that. And Derek's brother, sadly, also her brother-in-law, was also on the truck. He was the second individual rushing to a brush fire that turned out just to be nothing more than a burn on a farm. This is Charles Duran from Adel, Georgia. I'm still trying to find out how his lot occurred. Adel's right up the road here, and I'm trying to see if at some point I can get a picture of him. And Joey Turner from Homerville. I've commissioned a photograph that's called the South Georgia 3, which I'll probably put on the truck as well. These are additional names that were added this year. Mostly they were names that people have been digging up that had died in the line of duty, and we kind of decided to do something a little different and make them like badges, to look like badges. And right now, that's where I've got them located. I don't like coming that low down on the truck with the names to make it easier for people to see them, but right now, this is the configuration I'm going to try out just to see how well it works and how people... I'll give you an overall view of the truck here. The truck was, cab was built by Ford and the motor, and the chassis part here, the back part, was actually built by John Bean. So Ford did the cab and chassis, and Bean, did the back panel here. And they do pretty good work. They did an amazing job when they put this truck together, because inside I have found almost no rust in these cabinets. Let's give you a quick look at the cabinet job that we did here, which came out really well. They almost look new again, so I'm kind of happy with that. We still got equipment to add in there, but that'll be all done.